we got a 2017 MacBook Pro today, which doesn't charge. You can see how it is blinking and it's trying to initiate the charger, but it just stops. Let's see the other port. The other port is 0.5 volts. This should go to 20. 11, 20, 0.7, 0.90, but nothing on the machine. So definitely we have some issue with the charging ports. So let's take it apart and have a look. So looking at the board, there is no liquid damage, so it's in a pristine shape. Let's take the board and check it. Let's go under the microscope and inspect. So, looking under the microscope. Okay, it seems like on this side we have some oxidation there. So let's clean it and have a look. So we have quite of a oxidation spot over here if you look under the microscope. And when we measure our fuse lines, so this is CD3215, which is responsible for this charger, and when we measure the input on the second one, we have a short circuit here. Let's look at the microscope. So we have a short circuit here. So we need to figure out if this short circuit is caused by this blob, or did that blob blow this charging chip here. If you look on the microscope and measure those chips, we can clearly see that there's a short circuit in that area. So we need to slightly to remove the oxidation layer or shorten layer on that board. But although when it's removed, we still have a short circuit. So the top layer and the bottom layer of the socket must have shorted. So we need to remove and replace that whole charging socket from there. So unfortunately, with this particular model, the charging socket is soldered straight into the motherboard. So we need to do, to a degree, electronic repair. Removing the old socket is easy, and when we apply some thin solder, we can remove the old solder from there and clean the area. Once that's done, then we can put a new USBc charging socket in place, and resolder it back. Once it's soldered, then we can measure if the short circuit is still there. Luckily it wasn't. If we look closely to the charging socket on 2017 MacBook Pro, we have a little PCB board which is sandwiched in between two layers, and at the bottom we have a hole-through part which gets soldered onto the board. Then this PCB part goes through it. So this is the area which was shorted. So it seems like there was some kind of oxidation or liquid went inside of the charging port. This is unfortunately the bad part of the USBc design. We have little sockets which has lots of pins on them, about 24 pins. And if you look under the microscope, you can see how easily it can short one of the power lines straight to one of the data lines, and actually a little bit of oxidation cause a quite serious damage. So this whole pin over here, so these two are voltage lines, where it shorted to a point where the underneath ground layer has shorted straight into it. So that's why we had to replace the whole socket rather than just cleaning that area. Luckily it didn't blow any of the charging chips inside, so we just replacing the socket was good enough. But yeah, you can imagine how complex a job like this is, and definitely it's not for a faint-hearted. Alright, we are done here. We have replaced those two damaged sockets. So let's quickly test it. Into a fancy charger. There you go, 20 volts here. Let's see the other one. Five, 20 volts here as well. Alright, we're done with the repair of this MacBook 2017 MacBook Pro. We get a charging current 2.84, which is what we should get when the battery is quite drained. So both of the charging slots are charging now, and if we look at the battery, so it is charging. The battery says service now, which is quite normal considering the service recommended, actually, considering the age of this machine, so this 2017 model. But apart from that, it's a successful repair. So if you guys need this service, all the information is in the description. And thank you again for watching.